Making bread pudding today with a beautiful whiskey cream sauce. I suggest these books from AnnMarie. This is Read the Living, The Fountainhead, and Atlas Shrugged. Hello everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to Headmaster's Homeroom. I am Lady Hamilton, and I am thrilled to see you guys again tonight. Thank you so much for being here. This is a quick reminder while I've got your attention. Please like, follow, and share. That is so important, not only to me, but also to my guests, my wonderful guests that we have every week, right? It's really important to get out who they are as well. So I thank you ahead of time. But if you guys can please remember to do that, I appreciate that. So a few things going on. First of all, I know that there is a huge weather activity here in the Northeast. So I just want to make sure that I'm sending love out to everybody that's about ready to face snow and or blizzards and really bad weather. I hope that you guys are safe and prepared and I guess all tucked in for tomorrow. I know that I am ready to kind of go, but so far it's not here yet, but we're expecting a huge storm tomorrow. So my thoughts and prayers are with you. I hope everyone is prepared. Also, we have a few announcements coming up, not only now, well, I'll say that now, but also at the end of the show too, and some new groups and stuff that I want to make sure that you guys stay for and make sure you hear, because we are trying to do our best to do things for you guys out there. We love you. And I love, especially one of our greatest groups out there, if you guys don't know, is Artist Corner. That is exclusively on True Social. I am so happy to have that and have Ray as my co-moderator to be able to highlight the wonderful artists and have you guys just join to see the wonderful art and talents that they have. It's just been so awesome, whether it's music or it's art, painting, sculpture, woodwork, metalwork, recycled material work, and if you're a part of our group, keep sharing your art with us. We'd love to be able to highlight you guys and get more of you guys out there and noticed. If anybody also wants to come on my show, please reach out. I would love to schedule you to come on the show. All right. So everyone, I'm just trying to think. I'm just getting set here. So welcome everyone. And let me just go check and see if I got anything. Hello. Oh, hi. Thank you so much, JJ. He is phenomenal, you guys. You have to understand he's my digital media producer, and he is just so wonderful. And we thank you so much. I'm going to try something different. We've been looking into trying to make this a little bit smoother. So if you guys do understand, please know it's just me here. And I'm doing everything I can so to make sure that we don't have glitches and things go smoother. And thank you so much, JJ, for all your wonderful help, especially with our videos and the introductions and outro. They're done beautifully. So everybody give JJ a huge shout out. Make sure he gets love on the social medias. You can definitely find him on Truth and Twitter for sure. All right, everyone. Let's get to it. Get to our wonderful show. I am starting our show with something different. And I like this because you guys have been doing some wonderful things. I've seen you guys cut these out, which, yes, if you are an artist on here and you've been highlighted, I love that you guys cut these little videos out and, put them and share them and anything I could do to highlight you. So how we choose our artist, we should highlight an artist of the day, and then you guys vote. And how does that work? You guys, by liking it, by commenting, and by sharing it, we add up the tally, and you guys are the ones who pick our artist of the week. So it is time. Artist Corner. We love it. And I am so excited to share this. Let's get this up here. All right. This is our artist of the week. And what a beautiful just picture when I think of the snow and sledding. It reminds me so much of my childhood. We had a great, big, beautiful hill that we could sled on, and my family made sure that we would go out every year. So this touches my heart. But thank you, Philip Harvey. This is wonderfully done. So our artist of the week is Philip Harvey Art. And you guys can all see where you can follow him on Truth. Make sure you give him a huge shout out. Let's show you these pictures a little bit bigger. And it's absolutely just beautiful, just precious. I love it. And what a wonderful artist. Everyone make sure, again, you're giving a huge shout out and a congratulations to Philip Harvey Art. These are beautiful done. And you can follow him, share it out. And also, let me just remove this. Congratulations, Philip Harvey Art. It's just a wonderful pleasure to see your artwork. So everyone, like I said, make sure you give him a huge congratulations. And I love that you guys are supporting each other so much. It just makes my day to see that. And we're interacting. We're doing some new things on the group as well. Thank you both to H2O Color Artist and to Mystic Goose for our Throwback Thursdays and our hashtag Throwback Thursdays and our hashtag Recliner Art. These are getting to be so much fun. And my apologies for not posting anything yesterday. I meant to, but we're celebrating an anniversary here at my house and it's exciting. So I should first of all also say happy anniversary to my husband. I don't know if he's watching this or not. It's not necessary today, but it's just still fun to celebrate all these years together on this crazy, crazy ride that we call our path forward, right? But it's been an absolute dream come true. So happy anniversary to him as well. And I need to put a post on about that as well. But I missed out on Throwback Thursday. But I'm loving the recliner art as well too. So make sure you're following them and you're in Artist Corner to see these posts and post them yourself. Like and comment, share your experiences, share your memories, whatever you guys are doing. It is just making our day. And when we have a world full of ugly, right? Sometimes we just need that cleansing. And by sharing out this art all the time, you guys, it's exactly what we're doing. We're just taking that moment to cleanse our soul, look at some beautiful things and some wonderful talents. And I continue to encourage you. Sorry, everyone. Continue to encourage you guys to do so, okay? Because it's making everybody's day. And our group is growing so much. So I love that. And we have a new thing coming out we'll talk about after our guest is here. But now that she's here, let me tell you, I've got a chance to speak with her just slightly, and it's been an absolute pleasure. I don't like to normally talk too much to my guests beforehand because I get so excited, just as much as you guys do, finding out all the things we have in common or the things that, that come up. And so this has been a real treat to just get to know you guys a little bit and then get to know, let's put this up, get to know each other. Let's do it. Okay. I'm afraid guys, just me. So I want to make sure that I'm doing this right. All right. And forgive me if it takes me a second to load things, but I'm loading up all this artwork and stuff that I want you guys to see here. And I want you to see who we're speaking about. And she sent me a wonderful picture that we're going to add to the stage right now while I read her bio for you. Okay. Look at this precious. This is so precious. All right, everyone, let's get to it. Our guest tonight is a wonderful artist, and her name is AnnMarie Lobdell, and I'm so excited. We've had a great time to get to know each other just a little bit beforehand and found that we have similar things in common. So this is very exciting. All right. What she says, the most important aspect of her life is her family. She has been married for 34 years and has 5 adult daughters and 5 grandchildren, 4 boys and 1 girl. This by far is the greatest accomplishment in her life. In terms of art, it has been her passion for many years. She lives in New York State and was raised there and started art school at a local community college after she got married. During her first semester, she discovered that she was pregnant with her first daughter, and that is when art school stopped. After having children, she went back to college for a diagnostic ultrasound and spent many years working in the healthcare industry, scanning patients, teaching ultrasound, and selling ultrasound. She still works in this industry and spends many hours driving around New York and New Jersey taking care of those customers. She painted on Wednesday nights for a period of time, but never had time to take her art to the next level. When COVID came and things got shut down, she suddenly had more time to focus on her art again. And what better subject matter than animals? She's often asked if she only paints animals, and the answer to that is no. She does paint other subject matter, but she has been focused on pet portraits because she's deeply connected to animals and knows how important and loved they are by their families. Charitable donations are very important to her also. She donates 10% of her commission to an animal-related charity. She tries to make donations relevant to the pet and their owner. If the pet came from a shelter, she donates there. If a shelter organization refers a buyer to her, she will give a donation to that shelter. She has donated to Canines for Warriors when a pet owner was a veteran with PTSD. She's very grateful that she can use her art to help animals. As far as mediums goes, many of her paintings are pastel paintings, but she also works in oil, and she's currently working on charcoal piece. Her goal for this year is to add original art to her website to sell and to hope to have a piece completed by the end of January. Her end goal is to sell enough art so that she can stop working outside of the house. And she has given me beautiful artwork to show you today. And the picture you're seeing here is with her beautiful grandchildren. So let's just get this set. All right. Let's remove this. And everybody, let's just welcome the wonderful artist, AnnMarie Lobdell.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome.
Nice to talk to you again.
It's nice to talk to you again. Oh, it's wonderful. So we were talking a little bit about things, and it's just so funny that we're talking about pets, first of all, because some people may know this if you watched my show before, but I have pets, and I've had several in my life. When I had an acreage, 40 acres up in North Arizona, I ended up at one point with 25. But the current one, what I'm laughing about, is the current one. I have this dog, and I call him like I'm his rescue human, or I'm her rescue human. She just, she's glued to me, like, right? And she must know we were going to talk about pets, because normally she's not been coming in my studio at night. Today, she is right by my side. I can't even move my chair without running her over.
She knows for sure.
We're talking about pets. Oh, and your artwork is phenomenal. So, tell us, and we have a few things similar. Like when we got our children, we adopted our children too. Things change, right? And what you see, what you do, it just kind of changes your whole experience. And you chose to raise your kids and then go back to school. Was that after you raised your children, I'm assuming, or was it while you were raising them?
I was while I was raising them. I was home for 9 years, and then I went back to school.
Right. Their youngest years.
I finally had to go to work and figure out what I was going to do. And rather than go back into the art realm, I decided that I should do something where I knew I would be able to work and earn a living. Artists have a challenging time, as we know. And so that's what I did.
And it's true, because I remember when I was going to school and I had art, and I was a double major, though, because that same thing. And I've heard many of us artists say too, it's hard. You have to be like an artist ant. It's very hard to become a famous artist and live off of that. And kudos to the ones that have already done that and the ones that are doing that, but we all have to start out somewhere. And it's one thing I remember a different artist talking about is they just don't teach us that in school. When you go to art school, they don't teach you how to go out and find money and be able to sell it. Just teach you how to do it. So it's different. They should definitely add that. But I was the same thing. I was a chef versus the artist, but you do what you have to do, and then you find it later on in life. And I just find it very interesting too, because 2020, so many people got reactivated in one form or another, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And in the age of social media, I just think it's another opportunity to put yourself out there as an artist and find other ways outside of the traditional art world.
Right.
You don't have to go to a gallery. You can, market yourself. And actually, I really appreciate the Artist Corner. I have to say that, because the engagement there is really good. So, posting my work and getting feedback from people and being able to see other artists' work, you feel like you're in a community, and it just helps put it out there.
Thank you so much for saying that, because that's what I wanted to develop, is a community, where we just support each other. And that's one of the reasons I had this show too, is to support others around this nation. They're doing so many wonderful things. And we love your art. You've been Artist of the Week several times, and they love and vote for you, so many times. I mean, so it's nice to get that love,
It really is. Yeah. I have to say, yes, absolutely.
Right from your peers.
I
So
appreciate
tell me,
it.
Oh, thank you. And everyone, right? You hear that? She appreciates it because I only get one vote, everyone. You might think, right? We only all get one vote. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's really great to get from Ray. And he's like, all right, the winner is, and he texts me about 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and the winner is, and it's so exciting because you guys are getting more and more active.
Yeah.
And I love it. Awesome. So what did you start with? What was your medium use? Because you said you don't always paint animals. So talk to us a little bit about that, because I think most of my work I have from you is animals, and wait till you guys see these. But
Yeah.
what other things did you do, or how did you start?
Um, I don't know how would say that I started, but I've done, in the past, like some portraits of my kids when they were young in pencil. I've got some landscape work that I've done in oil. I did my friend's home for her. I've done some florals. Um, and so kind of it's just a mix up, really. I just kind of got stuck on the animals because I don't even know how to explain it, but I love animals, and I got stuck on the animals, and I feel like I can do something with that,
Right.
right? I feel like I can give back, I can donate to charity. That's a huge thing to me. Like every single piece gets a donation. And I think even the pieces that aren't animals that'll probably still get the donation. I have lots of plans for series of things that I want to do, and where I would take that and how I would be able to um, do some more charity with it, honestly.
That
So
is really exciting. I mean, we talked about this a little bit before too, but I live in this area, and people would just drop off their animals and be like, "Oh, they'll survive in the forest or whatever." And you're like, "No, they came searching, and I ended up, with like different 25 animals. Granted, 12 of those were chickens, things like that. But it's like, I mean, who drops off chickens in the middle of nowhere? Well, I guess that just happens. But I adopt things. But I have a huge heart for animals. I always have, and we talked about the commercials
yeah.
where you watch it, and heaven forbid it's an abusive commercial. I will lose it.
Yes.
And those and babies, children, those are my two, like, seriously weak links. And it should be, because
Yeah.
they're the most vulnerable things on this earth. And so when they get hurt or abused, you just, I mean, I could sob. You were saying the same thing. You can watch certain
Yeah.
pet commercials and you're sobbing.
Yeah. You're all upset about it. I just feel like animals can't do anything for themselves. They have no control over their environment. And so, how they end up or where they end up, I mean, they don't have any control over it, and there's nothing they can do about it. So for me, that's
Right.
that's where I focus my energy.
Right. And I agree with that. And besides that, I mean, even it's kind of the same thing like with babies, those two at a very
Mhm.
young age. And animals, I mean, exactly. They can't scream. I mean, I guess they can somewhat scream if they're abused per se, but where are they going to go and what are they going to
Right.
do? And so
They can't. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
appreciate this so much. It's so nice to have somebody who's an advocate for something. I mean, we all have our own. I mean, I'm an advocate on history and human rights, and that's my
Yeah.
work. And but that, I'd still dabble in flowers and floral. In fact, I'm
Yeah.
doing a rose painting and stuff. But we have these focuses.
Yeah.
And how long has your focus been on animals? Because I'm assuming you've probably been an animal lover your whole life. But
I have
when
been an
did you
animal lover, yes, my whole life. But as far as the artwork goes, I mean, I've painted animals before, horses. I mean, my daughter had a horse when we were growing up, and I painted her. I painted, but I really got back into art when COVID hit. So that's when I had time to sit down and do stuff, and that's really where I picked up that focus, like this is what I want to paint. That's
nice?
Yeah, so probably a few years ago, really, and I've been
Oh,
able to turn out a lot of work since then, so that's great.
right, I've seen that. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful, including the paintings that are behind you. That
Thank you.
palomino. So I had a palomino, and when we got her, wandering on the forest thing, she was pregnant. I didn't even know that. And so it was like later on, that Mother's Day that rolled around. She actually had her baby on Mother's Day, and my little girl went out to feed her, and she comes and she's like, "Mom, Brandy had a baby." So I ended up with two horses. But I love Palominos are a special horse, everybody. They smile like Mr. Ed, if you guys know who that is. That's dating me, but they
I'm
they
sure.
right, very much a characteristic, like fly in the wind, fun loving attitude. That's beautifully done.
I
Now, is that
still
okay?
can't believe that you found a palomino wandering out in
Yes.
the field
Yes.
that somebody dropped.
Jumped off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's unbelievable.
Yeah. And her baby was also that. So I mean, it was unbelievable. Like I said, though, that love for animals. I mean, I just don't understand that. Okay, we're all done with you. Goodbye.
Yeah. Mhm.
Goodbye. So I don't know. I ended up with quite a few. I'm only down to, well, if I counted the chickens, right? I guess that's 4 plus 10 is 14. No.
Yeah, I have my chickens too. I think I told you this before. I call it chicken therapy. I love to go
Right.
out to the coop.
Like, people will probably laugh. I have videos of me calling them. I've got them trained. I can pet them. They're like, what in the world? But I was the same way when I had cows. Everybody thought I was crazy that I had my bull trained, to come like a dog and answer like, to dog calls and commands.
And
But,
that's great
when it
subject
got time,
matter, by the way.
right? Right.
Yeah,
But when it got time to load him up anywhere, it was super easy,
that's good.
just bring out the, right. But I do love animals. So, continue on with your path. So, who inspired you to get back? Was that just you, or did your husband kind of kick it off, or?
I think it was just me. I started, you know, looking around, seeing what other people were doing from an art perspective, and I thought, oh, like I really, and then I had a friend who knew that I could, paint, and he asked if I would do a portrait of his sister's dog for him. So I said,
Nice.
sure. And that was kind of kicked it off. And then I just kept going and going and going, did my own dogs in pencil and eventually in oil. And yeah, and it just kept going from there. As I post things, I get more um, buyers, people that are interested in the work. They like what they see, or people that I meet and we have a discussion about it. And I seem to be attracted to animal lovers. I think they're just like, they can sense it in me. And the next thing I know, we're having conversations. Sometimes with my patients, actually, like I would be taking care of patients um, in the imaging facility. And, one of my clients came from there. Like after we talked about it, she reached out to me like 3 weeks later and asked me to paint her dog. She herself is an artist who created a frame for her dog. And that's one of the ones I sent you, actually. I'll tell you the story about her. She was an artist. She had a frame that she made with the gold leafing on it. And she had the canvas already glued to the frame. And it sat there unfinished because she wasn't sure what she wanted to do with it. And after we met and we talked about it a little bit, she reached out to me a few weeks later and she says, I know what I'm going to do with that frame, and I really want you to paint my dog. And so that is my painting of her dog Dart in her
Is this
frame.
the one?
And that's the one. Yeah, that's it. That's Dart. And
I
yeah,
had to
I
go
tried
find
to,
it.
huh?
I said I
Can you
had to
hear?
go find it as you're talking to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So
Gorgeous. You guys, when
I
I
wanted.
saw this painting, go ahead, Ann.
No, I was just saying, when I painted it, I wanted to integrate the background into her work on the frame, so to speak, so that, it would just kind of be one piece that would be part of her own art. And that was my thought when I
This
did that.
is amazing. So when I first saw this painting, I'm going to keep telling everybody this is a painting because I did not think it was. I thought this was a photograph. This is how good this is, everyone. I mean, doesn't this just blow your minds of how realistic this actually looks? We are just double checking here. Okay. All right, there we go. So I'm just, all of a sudden I'm like, okay, if it's a storm, guys, beware, but this is gorgeous. Can you hear me okay,
Yeah.
AnnMarie?
Yeah. Yes, I can. Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely gorgeous. This one,
Thank you.
and maybe you didn't want to start with this one, but that
That's okay.
story, it
That's
is
okay.
just, when you zoom in on this, right, you guys can see the absolute detail to this. It is just unbelievable. Let's see if we can do that so you guys can see. If I can zoom in and show you. There we go. When you zoom in more, you can realize that this is a painting. But when you just look at it at first glance, it absolutely looks like a photo, and it's just done so well. And all of your work is just really realistic and very, very lovely. I'm sure she was thrilled.
She was. She was. I got really nice, kind words from her about it. It was a tear-filled meeting with her, deceased loved one. That's what I can say. A lot of the people that reach out to me, either they want to memorialize, their pet that they lost, or they're doing it for somebody else. One of them, I think I might have sent you one that was recent. That was, somebody gave to the sister. It was, she recently lost her dog, or people who, the dog's old and they know that they're not going to have much time, so they want to, get their dog on a portrait. So, yeah.
Right. It is just amazing. So I'm going to remove this because there might be a certain picture you want me to start on, and you'll have to tell me, and I'll search for it. And we can start there.
It doesn't matter.
Talk about your mediums, because you said that you like oils, pastels.
Yeah. So kind of what I do is, so that painting that was just up, that was an oil. And that's what she requested, the pet owner. And I kind of leave it up to the client. Like, I show them examples of things that I've done in each medium and let them decide what speaks to them. And a lot of people are just like my pastel work. So I have a lot of requests for pastel paintings. Like this guy behind me here, that's the third painting I've done for this client. I painted 2 of his other dogs. And so, and they all have the same frame, like they have a theme going. Those are his hunting dogs. But yeah, that just seems to be the favorite so far. So, and that's how I leave it. I do enjoy oil painting, what you can do with it, and how easy it is to fix your mistakes when you make them, because we all make mistakes. a little
dry very fast. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Just, smear it out. You're good. But no, it's that just seems to be the trend.
Nice. I love both. I really do. And so that's, and I like mixed media a lot too, but I love both. And so when you work with pastels, and especially oil pastels, are kind of the same. They're very vibrant. But you just done a nice work. So I have pulled some from your website and stuff as well too, more than you just showed me. And then this is one. I'm going to start with this one because it's a little connection. It's still that same dog. But one of the things I was going to say about why people love pets so much is because usually when a pet goes, we have to put them down. It's tragic, and you want to remember them in their best and not when they were ill or something, and so I can see why pet owners reach out to you to have their memories saved. Oh, what a great idea. So look at this.
That's guys. One of my chickens on the bottom, by the way, when she was a baby.
Does she have a name?
Alice. That's Alice. They all have names.
Right. I'll have to I'm laughing because I had 2 pigs, right? And their names were Smoke and Barbie.
See, I've been told not to give them names because then it's, when they go, it's, but I can't help it. They all have names.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's just lovely. So tell me if it's been a commission piece or if it's an actual animal of yours. And we'll start with these ones. So that's your chicken.
Yes.
And the cat and
commissions. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Very beautiful. And I believe the only one that's oil is the one in the frame, correct?
Actually, the chicken is in oil also.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, just beautiful. I'm like over here, guys, just geeking out with you. I mean, these are so realistic and so beautiful. My kids laugh that I use that word. I guess that dates me too. Look at this.
And that's a pastel painting.
Right? Just looks like glass, the eyes that you did here. Absolutely phenomenal. So tell us about this beautiful cat.
Jeff was a rescue cat. His mom is finishing up veterinary school, actually, up in Massachusetts. And this was a gift from her mom to her. She rescued him. He's an old guy with not a lot of teeth at this point, so he's got the special diet food going on. But he's he's been making the rounds with mom as she travels from place to place doing her finishing medical the veterinary school.
Nice, beautiful. I just love the details of this. I could just go over each single one and tell you about the beautiful details. But if you guys can, let me zoom in a little bit here so you guys can see the eyes better. Hopefully everybody can see that a little bit better. But those eyes just look like glass. They're done so well. I just like, wow. The whole thing is done, but the eyes got me because of just how realistic and how, like I said, they just look like glass. Very, very nicely done.
The eyes are the most important part to me all the time. I spend so much time focusing on the eyes, making sure that they look right. You know, it can capture something about them.
That's the same thing with my favorite thing to paint is eyes and lips. I think there's just so much to tell you in those two things as well.
Yeah.
And even when they're shut, there's so much to tell you. It's a very powerful thing. Beautiful. All right, look at this cutie patootie. Right. Oh, okay. Tell me about this one.
That's Dolce. He's the one who recently passed away, and his mom was devastated. And I was commissioned to paint him. Her mom's sister purchased this portrait for her sister as a gift, and she gave it to her on Thanksgiving. And so I have a nice heartwarming video of her opening her portrait, and she put him up on his favorite spot behind the couch where he liked to go, and that's where he lives now. So she has this,
Oh, just precious. Oh, right. Just precious. I bet they were. I mean, I would be over, like we'll have to talk about that Palomino. I do. I'm like, oh my gosh. The memories, it just really makes me think of my girl, but I just, that's what I'm saying. There's so much love. Most animal lovers, just wanted to, very nice.
Yeah, that connection, and especially when you get to the end with them, like you said before, here you're so attached to them, and then it's time, for the end for them, and you just can't. That's the hardest thing about being a pet owner.
That's right.
I had one time we lost 2 dogs within 10 days of each other. One was old, and we probably waited too long for her. And then the other one, after she had to get put down, the other dog we had, I thought he was depressed. I just thought he was depressed. It was like 10 days later, but he wasn't getting out of the crate. He wasn't eating. So I took him into the vet, and they came out and they said, oh, your dog has acute hemolytic anemia, and if he doesn't have a blood transfusion, he's not going to make it. And I'm like, what? Like, how did that happen out of the blue? And so, they took care of him the best that they could, but one night he just didn't make it. So it was like 2 dogs in 10 days. I was a total basket case, and we were burying them in the yard, my sister-in-law and I, and my husband's like, you can't bury them there. You have to move them. Then we had to dig them up. And when I'm crying hysterically, it's pouring rain. It was crazy. But yeah, that's the hardest part.
I had the same kind of thing happen. Has it been a little over a year now? Probably. So I had 3, like that went down. So I have, and I was just looking for this so I could show everyone later after our interview to show you. I had a white wolf mix that we rescued. It was on Christmas Eve, and he was being, like I said, we lived in the middle of nowhere, and he was being chased by coyotes. So my husband just stopped and picked up this white fluff, and brought him to me. And I had no idea that he was even a wolf or wolf mix until he grew up, of course. But the best dog I ever had. And I knew he was sick and he was dying from cancer, and I knew it was coming to the end. And then I had another dog a month later, just all of a sudden start spitting up blood. And I'm like, what in the world? And then not even a month later, something killed one of my cats. What?
It's like, yeah.
I yelled at my husband. I was like, this house is a house of death.
It's hard to overcome those things. It really is. It's very devastating.
Right. And I'm smiling now, guys. I wasn't. I went through massive grief, and I had to bury him. that's another thing too. They're so expensive when you want to go get an animal treated. I really wish there was a better situation for that because, $1,000 later, I wish they had more like of an insurance situation like we do. But
Well, we'll talk about taking chickens to the vet because that's where I get myself in trouble.
do you really?
Yes.
Oh, like the mobile vet now. I'm like, it's just easier when you got that many. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So tell me about this beautiful baby.
This is Callie. Callie passed away this past year, actually. This is a charcoal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a charcoal portrait of her. She was with her mom for years and became like with her mom through her divorce, was like her, her heart and soul until she finally did meet somebody else and have kids. And then, 14 years later, I'm painting her portrait as an old lady. And she passed away after the portrait. So she's had this portrait there for a while. Even still, when I gave her the portrait, she burst into tears at the portrait. Like she was so attached to the dog. Like the dog had been such a part of her life through her own personal, life
Right.
challenges that she had gone through. So through the bad times and then into the good times, and became like the best big sister to her human sister. Yeah.
Right. I understand that too. My youngest daughter, she is completely in love with one of our family dogs, and we found her on her birthday when she was 8 years old.
Yeah.
And so before she left and went away, and thank you so much, Kitten, because I did buy stuff from you guys out there for Christmas as much as I could, but I had sweatshirts made for my family, and she did such a great job. And she took a photo, and she put it, because teenagers wear hoodies like all the time.
Yeah.
And so she put it on the hoodie, but she shaped the pillow, and the dog's name was Lucy. So she basically made this "I love Lucy" thing out of it.
Oh, that's
And
cute.
my daughter's like, I could take it to college and everything with me. And I'm like, yes, that's the purpose, because you're not the dogs get old too. Like you're not taking her with her. But this is just what I mean about just capturing. You're inspiring me to give it a try. I've never, ever painted an animal yet. And that might be something I try.
Yes. I like to also, something that I think helps me when I'm painting them is I try to have a little story about them. Like tell me something about them before I paint them. Because I'm not there to see them or to know their personality. Usually they send me reference photos. I do have one where I went, to see the dog in person because my reference photos were a little challenging, but I ended up using one of her reference photos anyway. But, getting to meet the dog and see what their personality is like. So when you go to paint, if you don't know the pet, find out a little bit about them, because I think it helps you have that in your mind when you're trying to capture their character,
I agree. I absolutely agree with that. Like I might try the white wolf mix. I mean, love this baby.
Yeah.
And he was such a joker. And and the funniest thing too is how I knew, one of the other things I knew is, well, he would literally howl. Like we call it checking in. Every morning and every night he'd go out on duty and get on top of his little house and start howling. And he had this personality, and then he'd come running back in all like, hey, like a jokester, and knock something over or whatever.
Yes.
Nothing bad, but what I mean? It was just, you got to capture that personality.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. So I had to flip back because we were at the end and I forgot to start at the beginning. So this is another collection.
Yes.
And these are like pictures. So good.
These are, so the top poodle there, that's pastel. The papillon underneath is a pastel, and the little poodle on the side is a pastel. The cat that's actually graphite and colored pencil combo.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, that's really done nicely.
Yeah. And these are all, they've all crossed the Rainbow Bridge before they were painted, and they were all given as gifts. Well, one was a gift from me to my good friend who's my functional medicine practitioner. That papillon on the bottom, this was another story of a dog that helped her through her own personal, trials and tribulations that she went through as she was trying to heal herself. And he had an untimely um, death from a German Shepherd attack. So,
Mm.
but that's like her heart, and
Yep.
and that was my gift to her. And then all of the rest were purchased as gifts for people who lost their pets.
Oh, that's so awesome. Pets add so much to our lives.
Hmm.
They can even sense, and I've noticed this lately too, like if I'm something's not going right with me, or I'm in a major slump, or I can remember when my mom passed away, it's almost like they can sense that you're in an emotional need, and
Yeah.
they'll lay closer to you, or my cat will
Mhm.
lay on my head. You're like, okay, I know you're not cold, but it's weird. It's like, I know you're not feeling so great today. And
Yep.
it's just amazing. And they always are so happy to see you when you come home.
Yep.
Never give you lip. It's a good thing. I love it. I don't know.
Sometimes they
I
can
love
give
it.
you lip in a different way.
Sure, I do. I have a sassy dog. And she decides, she has to let me know when she's outside. There's that's the same one. This is beautiful.
Yeah,
The eyes on this is beautiful. Okay.
that's
But she
Tiffany.
says the same thing. She tells me what to do. It's dinner time, and she'll, spout it out, or she has an alarm clock. That's something else our pets have. They have an
Mhm.
internal alarm clock,
Mhm.
and they know their routine, and she'll let me know if I'm off by a minute.
Yeah, their clock is not when we want it to be when it's early in the morning.
Right. Right. The
Oh,
eyes on this baby, and I know this was in the collection that I just showed,
yeah.
but again, with the eyes, look at these blue eyes, everyone. Gorgeous. And you said that, again, this was graphite and colored
Graphite and
pencil.
colored pencil, yeah.
My skills are so lacking. I feel
No.
work finer art with animals. That's what we're gonna have to do. Get up that, because I've never done them before, but it'd be fun.
It is fun. It is definitely fun, and you can look at them and just kind of see what they like. You can just tell what they're like by the expressions on their faces sometimes.
Now, did you always start out just like this, or did you have to rough it out and build up your ability, or
So, and that's a pastel, and that was a donation to a shelter where he came from. And he's on my website actually as a digital download. So if anybody downloads him, I give 25% of that download to the shelter that he came from.
that's
Um,
awesome.
but when I'm working in pastel specifically, I will draw out the subject first on sketch paper and transfer it. And the reason that I do that is because I find that the paper that I use pastel mat. I like it a lot. I love the way it accepts the pastel. And I like that you could do so many layers. And I can even, like it's a little harder to blend with pastel than oil paint, right? But you
Right.
can blend. It just isn't the
It's
same.
harder.
But
Mhm.
yeah, I love the way it takes that, but it's not forgiving.
Right.
So if I want to make a correction, I don't want there to be a hint of it. So I make sure that my drawing is right before I put it on my final
Nice.
um, paper. That's
Nice.
yeah.
That's a great idea, because I
Mhm.
am huge on transfer. I always say my paintings are a 3 different layer step. They're transfer, they're collage, and then they're oil painted, and they have to be
Mhm.
done in that order. And it's the same thing with any oil medium, everyone out there. Once you put oil on a canvas, whether it's oil pastels or oils, you can't glue nothing onto it. It's just like it has to be the
Right.
last medium that you use. But I love transfer too, because once you get your drawing done, then I've got it. And it gives you that, even if it's just the outline, it gives you just kind of that ability to, and when you're working with certain mediums, like you said, it's easier to have that ability. Oh,
Yeah, and the drawing is everything. So
yes.
it doesn't matter really what you do to the. I mean, it does in one way, but like it just won't look right if your drawing isn't on. Now, I probably wouldn't mind that if I was just if I'm just painting an animal or any animal, for whatever. That's not somebody's,
Right.
commissioned pet portrait. But when it's their commissioned pet portrait, I want it to be right.
Right. These are portraits.
Mhm.
That's why they're called pet portraits. They're not a Garfield, they're supposed to be realistic, and they are very much that. He has got so much personality.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's adorable. He should be on every front of websites. He's
That is
great.
Huff Cut, and he belonged to the Hudson Valley SPCA, but they were able to find him a home. So that makes me happy because they have some residents there that will never leave the shelter. And
Mm,
so, being able to donate to them, that's one
yeah.
of my regulars in my regular rotation of charities is that particular organization because I like what they, their facility and the way they take care of things.
That's one of the things we talk about, or at least I've talked about, is I love doing things in my communities and getting out and doing service. And another thing too is donating a time at a shelter. Everyone,
Yeah.
whether it's just walking the dogs or helping grooming them, or even donating food to a shelter, something,
Yeah.
is a huge, huge thing because you're right. I don't know how many the dogs and cats they put down, but
Yeah.
if you can find them a loving, happy home, they deserve it. And most of my animals have come either from a rescue. And I told you the one that was spouting out blood, we found her at a shelter and she
Yeah.
chose us. She reached out to
Mhm.
us, but
Mhm.
I could have gone home with 10 dogs.
Yeah. I usually only donate to no-kill shelters, but on the flip side of that, I don't know that that's a good idea or a bad idea because in reality, the shelters that are doing euthanasia, they're doing it when they run out of space and when they don't have the resources they need. So maybe, that would be one way to divert some of the donations. But there's actually somebody on True Social too, and another person that I see on there that I've donated to her in some instances. I think it's Joanna's Senior Dogs or something like that on True Social. Ma and Pa's Arc, I think, something like that. But I've donated there.
Okay.
I
Right.
see her story. She takes in senior animals and takes them through the end. So.
Oh, nice.
Mhm,
Bless her heart. That's awesome.
mhm.
That is awesome. That gives me another idea. I've got a little bit of free time and I'm trying to fill it, but that would make me happy. My only concern of going to a shelter, and I'll be real honest, everyone, it's not that I wouldn't want to be there. It's that I would come home. My husband would be like, how many animals do you think we can have? And he does have a good point. He's like, wouldn't you ever like to go away for a vacation or something, And I'm
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
so
Well, I guess
we know.
that's a good thing that my daughter lives in the house, my daughter and son-in-law
Right.
and my grandkids, so that when we go away, they're here. And
Right.
my poor son-in-law gets stuck on chicken duty all the time, but
Love it. Yeah, my kids always got stuck on animal duty, but there's a reason for that. When you learn how to take care of, well, two things. Okay, so my kids are adopted, so animals will never share your secrets. So I always encourage them that they had a friend that would never share, and they could say whatever they wanted to, and no matter how they hurt, the animal would never share their secrets. And or like just therapy, they go out and they brush the horse and the whatever. It really,
Mhm.
really helped my children, but
Yeah.
also to teach them to be responsible for a life.
Yeah.
And I hopefully that because besides saying, hey, you're gonna have kids someday, you're actually responsible for something.
Mhm.
So, but
Yeah.
they're gone. I mean, and we've had vacations before, but no, it'd be nice to I don't know. My husband wants to do like a train ride across the country or something like that one of these days, but
That
we'd
sounds
have
fun.
to find somebody to watch them. All
We've
right.
been very blessed to have my daughter's friends
I love
sometimes,
that.
come stay at the house when we go away.
Nice.
The neighbor's daughter, they have chickens, so they know what to do with chickens,
Nice.
and they come take care of the pets when we leave. So we've been very lucky, honestly, getting people to either stay here or, like I said, the neighbor who lives like right behind us. So that's been great when
Yep.
we're
I
all
will
gone.
have to be on the hunt for a pet sitter.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah.
right, so tell me about this drawing of this horse.
This is just I went to one of my daughter's friends has a horse farm, and I went with my brother-in-law who does photography, and we did a photo shoot because I want to get myself rolling on a series. It's one of the series that I want to do is an equine series, and I'm just starting to do some sketch outs just to get fluid in my drawing, before I roll into my canvas with some oil.
That's awesome. Just so you know, everyone's loving it. I'm looking in the chats and they agree with me that it's very realistic and better than realism art, right? Oh, it's
Thank
funny,
you.
right?
Thank you.
And they can tell you're from New York.
Isn't my it's
Right,
funny.
you know,
I never thought I had an accent, but I don't
yeah,
remember where I was. Somebody we were down in North Carolina and we were sitting at a restaurant and it's my husband and me, two of my daughters, my son-in-law, my grandsons, and we're all from New York. But she didn't catch it until she got to me and she goes, "You're from New York?" I said, "Yeah, I am." And she's like, "I'm from Long Island," but she caught it. So it must be something the way I say it. So
and
it's
it's
fun.
true, and when I was in New York for the 3 years I was there for grad school, so I was in New York City, and there's besides having that New York accent, they also speak really fast. So my
Mhm.
father
Yeah.
would sit there and be like, "You're speaking so fast," and with some kind of weird accent. "Really?" I was like, "I've only been in New York for a few years, Dad." But he swore I picked it up. So,
Yeah, you pick it up quick,
mhm, we sure
especially in
do.
New
Things
York.
move
Yeah,
fast there.
the fast talking in New York is
Beautiful.
crazy. Mhm. Thank you.
You're very nice. Oh, look at this baby.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that is Rilke, named after the poet Rilke.
Oh,
And that was a gift, again, purchased for her mom by her good friend after she lost her. So another tearjerker. Um, I hate to say that that I feel good when people cry. It's not because I want them to be sad, but because I know that I did something right in the art that touched them in a certain way, right? That
right,
they could look at it and feel like they were, you know,
right. Well, not every cry is bad. You
right.
know, I mean, my mother passed away. I still cry to this day. It's been 3 years, but sometimes just even remembering, like when I was talking during the holidays, and I was thinking, one of the things I suggested for a do-it-yourself gift was to
Mhm.
frame your mom or grandmother's recipe with her handwriting.
Yeah,
And just thinking of that and looking at my mom's handwriting, I'm tearing, to this day. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. I miss her, but it's over
right.
a good memory too. So,
Yeah,
you know what? You
absolutely.
want their hearts to be full. Oh, she
Mhm.
is adorable.
Mhm.
She's adorable. I could stare at these all day.
And she likes to eat
I see
cake.
why
That's what
people
I
vote for
understand
you.
about her too. Oh,
Did she really?
yeah, she was a
I
cake
see
eater.
cake.
See, these are the
I
things
love
I
this.
learned. And, you know, I remember most of you know, what people tell me about them. So,
That's funny. Awesome. I love that too. I have little birthday parties and everything,
no, for you.
dog approved food and stuff. But yeah. Okay, here's another one, another beautiful baby.
So this guy is a Briard, and I painted this not last Christmas or the Christmas before. This is the dog that I had to go um, take his photo. I went to check him out because I got a lot of crazy pictures. Nothing that I felt was you know usable, and except this one. And then even after I went, he was so challenging to photograph because he was such a doofus. But yeah, he passed away this year, but yeah, he was very well loved by his dad, especially. And this was a Christmas gift prior to him passing, though, for his dad.
What a great gift. Oh man, what a great gift. Hmm,
That's
he's
Atlas, by
absolutely beautiful,
the way. Yeah.
right? And the eyes too. Just his look, the way he's staring it's actually a beautiful, beautiful pose. Just
Yeah, I
gorgeous.
like to pick those, like, something that's a little not always
Different.
just a straight pose, something that's a little different. I mean, he's looking up at you, so, um, it's just a little different angle, a little different way to paint it. Just like the cat with the arm sticking out,
Mhm.
Jeff, the cat
Right.
earlier, the
Right.
foreshortening and the stuff on that arm, just something a little different instead of always just the normal pose, unless they particularly ask for that.
Right.
I
Right.
try to find
Right.
something.
I can see that too.
Mhm.
Seeing them saying, "This is my favorite picture. Can you do that?" Right?
Yeah.
I can see that. This is beautiful. All right, this is the one again that you said is pastel, everyone.
Yeah.
This is hard to believe.
That is a pastel painting. I've painted him and his sisters.
Wow. That is so beautiful. And it's funny because the background has got this really beautiful softness to it, but he's so sharp in it.
Mhm.
That's why I was like, I would have maybe guessed the background, but not him. I mean, this is done so well and blended. You guys understand, oil pastels are great to work with, but it's hard to blend and hard to do all this. And he is just done so well.
Now,
So
this is soft pastel.
okay.
So and it's a little, I don't know if it's easier. I mean, it's more crumbly than oil pastel. It's way more
Okay.
crumbly. But and on a paper that size, I mean, it's a 16 by 20. So on that size, I mean, you could just waste a whole stick like that. But I don't like, there was the background in the photograph was very busy, and I was trying to figure out how am I going to cut that back because I don't want to distract from him. Like he's
Right.
my focus and he's busy at work there. You could tell he's doing his job. And yeah, so I try to, that background took me a hot minute to decide how I wanted to do it, for sure.
Just amazed. Amazed. Really, really beautiful. And I was just zooming in so you guys could see the details of him. Just like I said, I am amazed. You have such a talent. All
Thank
right,
you.
this one, and it might not be the last one, but this is kind of my personal favorite. Maybe because it reminds me of the wolf mixture I have, but he's just
Mhm.
so big and his eyes are so curious, and he looks like, he's it's just great. I love this dog. So tell me about this one.
So this is Kai's son, and he is also no longer with us. He was a gift. He's actually hanging in Ireland now. So
Okay.
I met at, there's like the hunting dog that you just saw. They every year have a fundraising shooting event at one of the local ranges for the Cornell College of Veterinary Medicine, specifically for the Canine Cancer Institute, because the sister of Cayenne had cancer. And so at the shoot, I always auction off a portrait. And I met somebody there, and she commissioned this piece from me to bring to her cousin who had lost her dog when they went to Ireland. So they had a family reunion over there, and this is where he went. And I got a nice video of that too. So, they sent me when she opened it, and yeah. So another one attached
Just a beautiful
to her hip.
well,
Yep.
and I don't know. They're all phenomenal, and I don't know why per se this one reaches out. Maybe because the expression, like I said, on his face reminds
Yeah.
me of Claus. He's, it's a big boy, and I like big
Yeah.
dogs a lot too. But right, it's just and his
But that's the
something's going
thing.
on.
Yeah.
Something, right? It just
Yeah.
catches my attention.
Everybody has something different that speaks to them about a piece of art, right? So that's why some people
Mhm.
will say, oh yeah, like I really want an oil painting, but other people, like, I really like the pastel work, so then that's a big one that I get asked for. Um but yeah, there's just something about, that speaks to individuals. I think with all art, like I have favorite colors that I see people use
Mhm.
that just, I'm like, oh, like you're drawn to something instantly. But this is
Right.
probably because it reminds you of your dog.
Well, yeah, of a pet. Whenever
Mhm.
my shows are in a gallery or something, or excuse me, or I'm taking students to a gallery, I always encourage them to not look at the little descriptions, to
Mhm.
walk around and take it in and get their own opinions, and
Yeah.
whenever my pieces are in a gallery, I like I like to walk behind so they don't know I'm the artist,
Right, right.
right before they introduce me, so they have no idea why I'm there, and just listen to what they have to say and what
Mhm.
pieces are drawing to them,
Yeah.
before they find out a title or they find out, explanation, because certain art touches certain people a certain way, as it should,
Yeah.
as it should.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very
Thank
nice.
you.
All right, let's see what I have here. Oh, okay, that is our last one, and your beautiful family.
Thank
You
you.
wanna introduce your
Sure. So it's,
baby?
of course, me and my husband Brett, and then from left to right, I will go is baby Nash. So Nash will be 1 in March. And next to him is my granddaughter Quinn. She lives here. So they're cousins. Quinn turned 1 in July, and above her head and in between my husband and I is her little brother Leo. He was also born in July, so he'll turn 1 in July. So they're very close together. And then the other 2 boys are Nash's brothers. Standing up, grabbing onto my shirt is my oldest grandson, Raiden. He turned 3 in July. And then their brother Killian, and on to the far right, my husband's holding him. He will be 2 in April. So he was 11 months when his little baby brother was born. So they both of my daughters and their husbands, they all have their hands full because the kids are so close together, but it's really so much fun,
Right.
It is a
Oh, yeah.
blast. We had them all together for Thanksgiving, and that was great because the 3
nice.
boys are in North Carolina, and then
Mhm.
the other 2 are here in New York with us, so we get to see them every day.
Oh, it looked like you're in heaven,
Yeah, it was
the
great.
look on your face. How beautiful is that? That is so beautiful.
Yeah,
It's nice to see family, it
it
really
is.
is, and nice to
And
see
photo shoots with all
families.
these kids are not so easy, though, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yes, oh, I know. It's nice to probably to be a grandma.
Yeah, yeah,
I
absolutely.
feel like, "All right, I get to spoil you, and then, hey, guess what? You off to mom and dad."
Yeah,
So that you just took a great picture, and it's just beautifully
thank you.
taken.
I love that.
So
I'm so happy we got a picture like that
yeah,
when we were all together.
right. Um, so I always ask people because I know a lot of people will probably like maybe are intimidated, and don't be everyone. You have to start out somewhere. I always say that too, even if you want to do something and you've never tried it before, and you may not be very good at it in the beginning, and that's okay, but you got to try it. So I like to build people up. So if people really wanted to do a pet picture or they wanted to try something, a medium like oil pastels or something,
Mhm.
how would you encourage them and what would you say?
I just jump in. I mean, if you're painting other subject matter, just or drawing or whatever it is that you're doing, if you're already drawing, just apply that to a different subject matter. It really comes down to observation and looking at what it is you're working on. I mean, I have a ton of books. I have a ton of art books. I have you know animal anatomy books. I've never opened them. I really like rarely, like I'll glance through and I'm like, well, I don't know how that's going to help me right now in this instance. So I just kind of focus on really doing the observation on what I'm working on. And, if you're not used to painting, start out, drawing things out until that feels fluid to you, and then move into the next level, move to the next step, whether it's, pastels, or it's going to be colored pencil, or it's going to be oil painting. And because you're learning, so if you don't draw already, that's the basis of everything. So you have to start with the drawing. If you're already drawing and you're just going to pick up a new medium, that's the fun, right? Because you've never used it before, so you're going to try something new, and you're just going to either work through it. There's so many things you could go online and look at tutorials or this, that, and the other thing, but in the end, I think it comes down to um, your own like figuring it out and playing and having fun with
Right.
it. It's really about having fun with it,
Right.
especially if
And
you're
you
going
guys,
to go with oils, because mixing color, if you haven't mixed color before, mixing color is it's
so
fun, but there's so many different things that you can do. Even if you only have 3 colors on your palette, you can still mix so many other colors with it. And it's just getting to know that, you know.
right. Right,
But
oils are wonderful. I mean, I guess you could and people probably think I'm not. I mean, I've done acrylics, but once I found oils, everyone, okay, that's my favorite. So, but I just from the powders and the actual candiums and the
Mhm.
cobalts, and I mix mine from powders with great, grapeseed oils or special oils to really get these vibrant, colors. But oh my gosh, they just and the way they blend, like you said, you can have 3 colors and make,
Yeah.
20, 30
Yeah,
different varieties of it. It's
exactly.
so much fun. It is so
Exactly. But I think if you're just starting, getting your drawing right is
mhm,
important. And then just following the steps, like what's important to your piece. Like if you really want to do, like a specific piece, what is your composition going to look like? Um, so thinking of your composition, your drawing, making sure that you have the values in there, because that's what gives your piece form, your animal form. is having the values right. And then, color comes after that, I guess, because I could paint that in one color and just using
Right.
different values and still have it look like a three-dimensional, you know, dog. Dog on the
Right.
hunt, doing his job.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Those are just unbelievably beautifully. I'm going to share here your website so everyone knows where to find you. And maybe you could tell us about, I saw this beautiful picture of this dog too. So let me add this to our stage here.
Okay.
You guys, it's really easy. It's just her name, right? It's AnnMarie Lobdell.com. It is just that simple and it's amazing. Look at this beautiful baby on your front cover.
That
Is this
is
one of yours as well?
That is his sister. She is the one. That's Meg. Not Meg
Okay.
was her name. She was a champion hunting dog. She's a Brittany. All his dogs are Brittany's.
Yeah.
She is the reason that they do the fundraising shoots for the Cornell Canine Cancer Society, because she survived cancer 2 or 3 times before it finally got her. And 2 weeks before she passed, she was second place in, lost only to her cousin, believe it or not. But she was still winning awards and like working hard on the hunt. And she was, just 2 weeks before she passed away, she was working till the end. So she was like
Wow.
spirit, she had real spirit to her. And
Right.
she was, and I had some reference material of her in the field, on the hunt, in her, poses. But when I saw this one, I just thought, and knowing what she had gone through, this particular reference photo
Screams hero.
Yeah, it spoke to me that like, this is the one I have to paint because,
Right.
so yeah, like the other one that I did of his other dog, this client, I was also in the field, but I thought Meg needed to be on just,
Wow. That is amazing. She is just so beautiful. She's a great choice. A great choice. And I was going to show you guys, everyone here, that she did talk about Huffcut, right? That you could order a digital download here if you wanted to help. So if you want to talk about organizations that you're wanting to help and support right now, you can.
Sure.
This one is the Hudson Valley. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, they are a no-kill shelter. They have tons of animals, lots of lifetime animals there. And that one up to the right is the actual other sibling of the other two dogs. That's Ginger. Yeah. So I like the work that they do. They house the animals right there. I also donate a lot to Take Me Home Pet Rescue. I have a gallery tab up there too. If you go there's probably other dogs in the gallery. But the Take Me Home Pet Rescue and there's a non-animal piece.
Right? I'm like, wait, hold on. There's digital downloads here, right? This beautiful flower. So the only one you're going to see tonight is not an animal, everyone. You got to check out the website.
For tonight, I have one I'm working on back there. That's a landscape. I don't have it up on the board, but I am working on a landscape. But so the Hudson Valley SPCA, usually if the pet owner doesn't have anything that's near and dear to their heart, and they have cats, I like to donate to them because they have a lot of cats in the facility. The Take Me Home Pet Rescue, they are a foster organization, so they have a lot of foster families taking their dogs. I have donated to the Walden Humane Society because my buyer is a volunteer there. So just depending on the person and what they're specific. If they don't have anything, I have regulars, but usually I try to find something. I've donated to the Cornell College Canine Cancer Society and the Veterinary Emergency and Critical Care association, and also to an organization that trains therapy dogs for that go into hospitals. One of the paintings I did was a gift for somebody bought a portrait for his mom of her dog, and she worked with that organization. So, and that's what they did. So I've donated to them too. So there's a huge number of them. It's just a matter of what's relevant. And again, the Canines for Warriors. So the pet owner was a veteran with PTSD, and that's what Canines for Warriors does. They give dogs to veterans with PTSD. So that was relevant to them.
On another side of this, I'm going to be updating my art website as well. But a lot of the digital downloads, digital prints and stuff that I sell of my work, 100% of that, well, all of my artwork. But another thing I've noticed, a lot of people like prints and so forth. So now that I see this, I'm going to revamp it, because how nice is it to sit there and actually show a picture and put this, 100% of this is going to go to this charity, which is my school. But I'm like, what a great idea as an artist out there. If you guys are donating or have a collaboration, get it out on your websites and let people help you support those causes. This is a great idea.
I really need to update. My website needs to be updated for sure. I have to get on that. That's one of my 2024 goals.
Right. Oh, like, okay, I'll get it. My school's artwork, so
artwork has to go on there. That is not some, like some non-commission work will be good.
Right.
But
I thought I was going to get to mine over the break, but I didn't. And then school started back up, and here we are. So I'm going to get to it.
Exactly. Just not in our own time.
All right. I want to get back to this. Probably the only picture you see maybe tonight of hers. Tell me about this yoni and how is this an oil, or is this a pastel, or what is this one?
An oil painting. Honestly, I was like flipping through a magazine and I saw that, and I'm like, I really want to paint those water droplets. And so that's what I did. So I set out to just make that. And I loved the photograph. I loved the water on the petals. Water,
I love
some
flowers.
My nemesis. So
nice. And this is one of my favorites. I like to have this actually at my home. I have a few of these that grow, and 7 rose bushes. I love those as well. But this is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Everyone, again, it is just AnnMarie Lobdell. So it's AnnMarie, then LOBDELL.com. I make sure that I will be sharing this. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. Give me 1 second. We're going to be sharing this in our permanent chat, everyone, so that you know where to go. Yeah, I just added that to our permanent chat on Rumble, everyone. So you can find her website there too. You can find her on True Social, but you don't go under AnnMarie on True Social.
I just my name is there, but it is but I just put like Saj, SAHSJ. That's my children's initials.
Okay,
and that was
nice.
My first email, and it just kind of stuck with me for a while. So, if I'm just going to put a name out there, I don't know why. Just habit. I've been doing that for a long time.
That's an awesome idea, and it's unique. It's like a password, you guys. So it's SAHSG or J, SAHSJ.
Yeah.
You guys can definitely find her. You can find her in the Artist Corner if you join too, because she is often highlighted. And you have been, I think, 2 or 3 times the Artist of the Week. So I know I'm not the only one who loves your work.
Thank you.
It's just a really great community. I'm so glad to be a part of highlighting you and helping you. So how can we, besides checking out your website or, sharing your artwork, anything else we can help you on your path?
I don't know. Just keep supporting through art. The Artist Corner is great because I like the feedback from people, but definitely sharing it. Anybody that that's looking for a pet portrait, or eventually there'll be some original artwork on my website, hopefully soon. They, just to send them my way. I love to do it, especially if you know somebody that's that cares about the charities in that way. I mean, that's something that seems to connect with people who are looking for, you can go on and, if you're looking for a pet portrait, there's a lot of pet portrait artists. And what is it? The buyer is going to connect with you based on whatever it is that, speaks to them. whether it's going to be me or somebody else, or but yeah, just keep sending people that way and letting them know that I'm here and I want to work.
I
And
love it. You guys are taking custom jobs. So if a pet out there and you want a beautiful portrait painted of your pet, you can absolutely reach out to her that way too, and have a great present. Or if know somebody who has a loved one or a pet that's just passed, what a great gift.
yeah,
That's a beautiful reminder of something that they can keep forever. I love this idea.
yeah. Following on Instagram is good too, because the algorithm. So the more followers you get, the better the algorithms work. But yeah,
Right. I think that's almost with all of the medias.
yeah, it's crazy. But it's
Right. I don't get.
because I don't have a lot of followers on True Social, but I get a lot of engagement because of Artist Corner. So
I'm glad.
yeah.
I'm really glad too. And well, something about Truth. I don't know, not too many people that, but they keep me suppressed. And if you don't believe it, just watch my followers. And it's the same way with my school. They always keep my school at 4,004.
On
No
True
matter if
Social.
I get one more, they knock me back down. They've been doing this for a year now. And I've noticed that with my same account on Lady Hamilton. I don't get usually past 920. And for some reason, they start keeping me down again. And I have reached out. So I don't know. This digital world, these algorithms.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The blessings and the curse to it. It's like it's
And I don't really care about the number because like you said, I love the engagement. And if I'm just part of a community of 150 people and we're all talking, well, that's more engagement I'm going to get than having 10,000 followers.
Yeah. Well, because especially especially on Instagram, a lot of the followers are just bots.
Right.
So it's just they're fake people. I don't know why they cling to the pet portrait artist, but I get a lot of single males with dog pictures that have 0 posts and maybe a few followers, but I get a lot of those. But it makes the numbers go up, so I'll take it.
And this is one of the things I love about what we're doing here with this show, even is the fact that we're actually seeing each other. We're learning about each other. We're becoming friends, and it's building the community even better. I am so honored to have so many of you. And it's like, I've got artists all this month, everyone. And I have an author who's also like, children's book and not, she's done the artwork for the book and written the book. And I have a woodworker. I mean, but you guys all belong to Artist Corner. And it's so great to just be reaching out and say, hey, do you want to come on the show? Or you guys reach out too. But it's a great way to realize, okay, you're not just that bot. You're an actual person who's doing great things in our nation. And you should be highlighted. You're a wonderful artist, AnnMarie.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Anything else you would like to share with our audience before we leave?
I don't think so. I think I'm not good at coming up with that stuff on the fly at the last minute. I'd have to think about it and say, maybe.
Right. Well, I don't know if we missed something. We've got you. You're on Instagram and you're on Truth. Are you on any other social medias?
I'm on Facebook. Those are pretty much anything I post to Instagram goes to my Facebook.
Okay.
On Instagram, I'm AnnMarie Lobdell Art, and it just automatically posts to my Facebook. I probably should switch that to the same name, but one of these days.
If you guys are Truth followers, go give her a follow. Go check it out. And if you're on Facebook or Instagram, go give her a follow and share out this beautiful work. Because again, like I asked you guys I'm going to remind you to like, follow and share, because it's not just, me, which I love. Thank you guys so much. But it's also my wonderful guests. Right. And we're going to do our job and share out your beautiful work.
Thank you so much.
So honored. Don't be surprised if another week or two I'll be like, and the week. You guys love her, and that's a huge sign of how much they appreciate you. And so
I appreciate it totally. I totally do. And I think I'm so happy you started Artist Corner because
right, it's turning out to be a phenomenal community.
Yeah.
So if you got a showing or anything else coming up, make sure you let me know so we can highlight you and let people know, because you never know who's in your community.
This is true.
And right, they might, if a lot of people like to go to these showings as well. So let us know, share that in the groups or anything, or you can send me a message directly. And we will make sure that people continue to follow you and celebrate your wonderful work.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm sure we'll talk again.
You're welcome. Have a great night, AnnMarie, and I'll see you again soon.
Bye.
All right, everyone. Bye. That is so exciting. I just love that you guys come on this show and you just get to know who you are and your wonderful talents. You guys just let those talents shine. I'm sure that just God is just smiling every time I just get to celebrate one of your talents, because I guess that's the way I feel what's one of the ways we honor God is show off our talents and use them. So that is such a pleasure. Again, you guys can find AnnMarie on True Social, Facebook, or Instagram. And her website is AnnMarie Lobdell. It's Lobdell, and that is put into my permanent chat below the stream. Okay, so you guys can find that website. If you want to donate, I mean, just inspired me to draw some wonderful, beautiful pictures of animals, or maybe get up and go figure out how to help a shelter. Maybe even introduce my local shelter to AnnMarie. It's another great way to connect you guys with something, because you never know when they're trying to promote that. They always have adoptions, and they love to have these animals pictures taken or things done to highlight the animals. So it's just given me some really great ideas, and we are thankful for that. All right, it is sponsor time, and you guys all know that I have a beautiful um, nationwide art integrated private academy, and I love this. This commercial was made by one of our seniors, and it's just absolutely done so well. The drawing in here is, she's like a speed drawer or a speed painter, and I couldn't believe that she had done this in one setting, but it just completely inspired me. And she took our logo and turned it into something beautiful. So that being said, here's Hamilton Liberty Academy. Oh, there I am. Okay. Whew. Loading up stuff, guys. Mercy, mercy. All right. Something else I wanted to show you. So let me close these things down. You guys know it's only me show. I love it. If you guys have you can find Hamilton Liberty Academy almost on every social website, by the way. I'm trying to think that it's on Twitter, and it's on Truth, and it's on Facebook. It's also on Gab and also Getter. So if you guys have any interest, or other people who are interested, we're going to be having our yearly donations coming to as well. Thank you guys for those who have donated in the past, and hopefully some more donating in the future to help more kids get scholarships and or supplies to be able to attend the school. I sure do love it, and I love changing children's lives. It just means the world to me. And if you want a really great education without this indoctrination or this madness, with some real foundations, I encourage you to look into Hamilton Liberty Academy. All right. Something else I wanted to make sure, I'm just looking at all of this, I wanted to share with you. So let me go find that. We are starting, and let's get this up here so everyone can see and share that with you. We're starting a new group. I've seen a lot of things kind of, and is that not going to, oh, there we go. People are kind of struggling, especially some parents. It kind of makes it hard, especially if you have children with disabilities, or children with certain kind of diseases or ailments or psychological issues or whatever. It's just hard to sometimes be a parent of challenging children. And we all know that a lot of children can be challenging, but where do you go to find the support? Share stories, blow steam off, enjoy a glass of wine, and laugh. And I've noticed that when I grew up, or when I raised my children and grew them up, basically, it was hard to find those kind of connections, and other parents that could understand. So when I saw this going around, and I've had other people reach out to me, we decided that we're going to start a support group. And I was going to shoot, and for some reason it will not let me share this again this week, but please look out on True Social. Ray did a great job with this graphic, and I don't know why it won't let me show it. And I apologize. I can look again and see if it's got it up here, but it's a beautiful logo of a pressure cooker, and it's a place to let off steam. It's going to be called the Pressure Cooker, and it's a parents group. So please reach out. You can find me at True Social. You can just even make a comment when you see that going around and say, you know, I'm interested in that. We're going to meet, you know, every couple of weeks on Zoom, so it's a little bit more private, not something here live for everyone to see. But if you know of a parent, or if you are a parent, or you just need some support as a parent, we are here for you. And I saw a lot of that going around in the last few weeks. Depression is very real. Stress is very real. And we want to be as healthy as we possibly can. So if we can be here for you, I know that I have had a struggle raising 3 medically fragile children who are adopted with, you know, who knows? I mean, ODD, RAD, PTSD. I mean, it's difficult, especially having the rare illness that they had, and to deal with that. What I would have done to just have other parents be like, you know, I've been through that, or I understand that, or just listen. You know, sometimes it's great just to have someone listen and hear you and know that you're not alone in this world. So look out for that. Please reply or share that out, because even if you don't need that, there might be people who follow you that do need that. So I really ask you guys very much to please share that out. Again, it's called the Pressure Cooker. It's a parent support group. And we're going to try really hard to just do everything we can to be here for each other in this nation. You know, I love you and I pray for you guys every single day. So I want you to know that. And we're coming up with as many ideas as we can in the time that we have to do all we can for each other. All right, Sunday, it's going to be fun. Sunday's going to be, remember, on the thing I shared is trying new things and trying new recipes. And I thought that was a really great idea. And I haven't cooked for a little while for you. So on Christmas, I was given a sushi kit, like how to make sushi. And it was really quite simple and surprisingly. And it's just so much nicer to have something that's not, you know, with all these different chemicals on it or who knows what. I mean, I usually don't buy sushi like from the grocery store per se, but I just don't know if you're not eating it fresh. And I can't trust restaurants too much, you know, because I don't know what foods they're buying. So it's so nice that my husband, under the S for Psalms, he got me a sushi kit. So I'm going to show you guys how to do California rolls on Sunday, besides our prayer and our scriptures. And I'm sure we're going to be talking about something about fishing. That kind of seems like the theme that's already kind of going in my head. And we are the fisher, you know, fisher of men. But had to teach you guys how to make sushi. And we're going to do that live. I'm not going to do that on a video. So I hope you guys are there to watch. That would be really fun. I won't necessarily be into the chat per se, but I think it'll be really fun. All right. And then let's see what else we have. We did that. All right. You guys can find me. I'm going to tell you this. My Facebook's going away. And we'll have to fix that. Because I just am not a Facebook person, and I just seem to have more and more problems with them. And so they can just go away. So, but you can find me on Truth and Twitter, everyone. Lady Hamilton Art on Truth and Lady Hamilton AR1 on Twitter. If you want to find my school, I told you that's Hamilton Liberty Academy. I am the headmaster and founder. But that's on, sorry, give me a second. There we go. You can find that on Truth, Twitter, Gitter, Facebook, and Gab. And that's Hamilton Liberty Academy. Another wonderful thing, I told you what we did for Christmas, and we always had to find something. Our color was green. And speaking of my husband and I's wonderful anniversary, it's probably my favorite picture, if everyone can see. He got me a mug for M. That's green with our beautiful picture on there. And I really enjoyed that. That's when I was moving to New York City to go to grad school. It's one of my favorites. So again, another shout out to my wonderful husband. Thank you for all the wonderful years. I have never had such a greatest gift as you. All right. Did I tell you guys everything that's going on? And again, I can please ask and say truly from the bottom of my heart how thankful I am so much that you guys are liking, sharing, and following. I really appreciate that, not only for myself as we're growing, and the show is growing, but my guests love it and they need it, and we're trying to support each other. So I truly appreciate you. And I think that we are set. So I'm going to try to load this up and see if our clothing song goes smoothly or better, smoother. Thank you so much, JJ, for all the help that you've given me on this. I couldn't be doing this without you. Everybody say thank you to JJ for me as well. And it's going to be a wonderful time on Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we are going to be rocking and rolling with some sushi. So let's see if I can get this loaded up for everyone and have a little bit of smooth situation here. There we go. Like I said, it's just making my world really great. So I pray for everybody. I want you to be safe with the storm coming up. My heart's with you. My prayers are with you. My thoughts are with you. If you guys want to reach out and want to be on my show, just please reach out. Again, you can leave even a personal or a permanent chat here. You can find me on Truth or Twitter. And I hope you guys all have a blessed evening. Enjoy. All right. Take care. Maybe we're gonna try to see if we'll play. Sorry, this is all on my phones to close this out. Right, let's listen to some kids sing. Have a good night, everyone. Bye. Making bread pudding today with a beautiful whiskey cream sauce. I highly suggest these books from Ayn Rand. This is Read the Living, The Fountainhead, and Atlas Shrugged.